It should.
What audio? You got like an intro audio?
No, like you're. I don't know. I might be hearing playback, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
And
People
do
in
you
the
hear
chat can let
anything?
us know if audio is actually working. What's up, guys? We are live.
He's probably got me playing twice in his head. He's probably got my audio going 2 times on his setup somehow.
No, no, no. See, this is the challenge, right? You start getting fancy stuff and start branching off from like good old fashioned USB stuff, and you're like, you know what? We're gonna try this
It's kind of
fancy
like USB.
camera,
It's
and
basically just the same thing.
but absolutely not. I mean, how many different setting things do you have now compared to your old setup? You know?
I got switchboard.
Yeah. So he's all fancy now, and now half the stuff isn't working, which is fine. You know, it's whatever. Just go
I
back
got
to
the
the good
switchboard.
old fashioned webcam and
No.
plug in USB
Now
mic
they can
and
see how handsome I really am.
oh gosh, yeah. I mean, you're
You
looking
just
at.
look red
I
today,
was gonna say, it looks like you
to
Okay,
were.
be
dude.
honest.
Hey, well, our
Listen,
trial ran
lobster.
up on the podcast, so or on not the podcast, but our little thing. So I
Yeah.
just spitballed real quick on color, and then it was 450. So then I was like, "Fuck it, we ball."
He's turning
So
into lava.
I know, yeah.
Yeah, you
So
look like you drank a lot and you're like flushed.
well,
The
there's
background doesn't help either. The
no.
background looks extremely red too.
Well, that's what it's orange. Hold on, I could change something real fast.
Oh
We're
my god.
we're just giving you shit, Herbie. Fine.
We're just giving him shit. You got the little
Oh
chain too. When your chains hang low. You know that song?
yeah,
Great
yes,
song.
yes.
Great song. Oh, Dan Savage in the chat. What's up? 2014 FD Pro 2 champion Dan Savage. There we go.
Yeah, very
Yeah.
exciting. Yeah, so today we have obviously Ferropolis happened last weekend. A couple other smaller events that I saw popping around the country. Um, but yeah, no, this is gonna be probably a little bit more chilled, laid back stream. If you guys have
Yeah.
some topics in
Oh my
the like chat that you guys want to hit up, we also
God.
can speculate a little bit about Utah and kind of what's going on there, layout and whatnot. Obviously, FD has not released that I've seen the actual bracket yet, which I was a little bummed by because I was like kind of hoping to go over that
I
today.
was too. I was hoping to have a pro spec show today,
I
but I
know.
guess not.
Well, we're gonna have to shove it all together,
Yeah.
and
Next week will be 3 hours. Who's excited?
brother, and have someone possibly coming on next week that will make it even longer. So
Are you
There we
talking
go.
about the episode?
yeah, so we'll
I have
we'll
to go in
see.
15 minutes. Just kidding.
I mean, that's fine. The show wouldn't lose much anyways. It's all good, buddy.
That's false.
Holy
Now you
moly.
told me yesterday that you said I have to get more mad often. False.
That's crazy.
Advertising. For everybody that is wondering at home or wherever you are.
Yeah, is that right?
I don't like when you get mad, Herbie. I'm gonna be honest. I like neutral and happy Herbie. I don't like mad Herbie.
You didn't like my text the other day about how
No.
bad I wanted to end everything that was sim racing?
Yeah, because Herbie doesn't know how to set up audio drivers. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, that's totally what it is. I'm totally
It
not,
is.
been on a computer for the past, I don't know, 20 years of my life, and I know how to
You know,
actually
when you get old and you get a little stubborn about how to set things
Yeah,
up,
yeah,
it
yeah.
happens. I get
It's
it. It's
crazy when
okay.
you
It's
spend money.
fine.
When you spend more money, you have more problems when it comes to
Yeah,
sim.
like your camera set
If
up.
anybody's actually going to get into sim racing, it would be great if you just buy a G29 Logitech. I take back every negative thing
Oh
I
my
said.
god.
They feel like an
Here
absolute
he
dog
goes.
shit piece of garbage wheel. But I'll
Oh
tell you what,
man.
every time that you plug that baby in, it's gonna be there for you, and it's gonna work. And I'll
All
tell
right,
you
let's
what
get into
also,
Ferropolis. Let's get
the
into it.
shifter works just fine. Everything is fine. You know what isn't fine? When you spend more money and all of a sudden it's like, actually, oh, you got a headset now? How about Discord audio stops working? Oh, you checked every single thing that could possibly be there? It still says that it should be and nothing. It was working. And then all of a sudden you join a race and it stops working, and then you check audio and everything stops. Sure.
Everything's going fine for Herbie. Don't worry about him.
Yeah,
Okay.
Herbie's loving it. First world problems. You gotta be loving it.
Just saying.
But,
Just saying.
so
And
first
then
off,
I gave up. And
Oh,
we finally I raced yesterday, and we got 2 first races back to back, 2 first place podiums. So Miata race and an M2.
yeah.
there we go. There we go.
Smoke
that-
you no matter what.
You got anything else going on, Herbie, other than getting angry at iRacing?
I unleashed hell on Brandon 2 days ago.
Yeah. Thanks, dude. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate it, dog.
Brandon, how's it feel to be everyone's fixer of problems?
He wasn't fixing shit. He was
Mr.
just my
Fixer.
I was fixing shit. You weren't listening to anything, and anything I'd say, you just shut it down. So I just gave up after a second.
Because
It's not very. Listen, dude. When someone's trying to help you and trying to find every problem, even if they've said problems that you have fixed before, you just have to deal with it and keep going through other problems. But you're getting so aggravated by the problems that I was saying that you already fixed, so I just gave up on it. That's what happened. All right. And I'm gonna be honest on the stream. I just fucking gave up. I just didn't want to deal. It was late. I want to go to bed. I went to bed.
It was early for me.
Yeah, you've got your special time zone now, huh?
Sure, he's complaining about my sim or complimenting. I was semi complaining about the nuances that come with a fancier sim.
Oh my gosh. All right. So, Ferropolis, is there not a cooler outdoor setting than a mining park? Is that what it is? Like a mining facility? Ferropolis?
Yes. They got big.
Quarry would be pretty cool. They had it in a quarry, like inside a quarry. That'd be
Yeah,
pretty
well,
sick.
one that exists today. I mean, it doesn't get much cooler than that setting, though.
No, it doesn't.
It's like an island inside of a mining facility. It's like, and then you just see like the drone shots, and that's like actually one of the good things that Driftmasters does. I think better than. I mean, FD obviously has their stuff, drone stuff, but they don't. I don't know if they post it as much as Driftmasters does, but maybe they do. I don't know.
They went on like a good tear where they had
like-
quite a few clips going up of Justin's stuff.
Right.
Um,
You
it's
always
great when
get
he-
you always get the Long Beach clips of them going down the buildings and stuff.
He did a cool
Yeah,
one
those are sick.
following the birdie at Seattle. Did you see that?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
that
right.
one was pretty neat.
that was pretty cool.
But,
Posted 8 hours ago, got 50,000 likes. Hot damn.
Wait, what was?
The birdie, falling
bird
the
video?
birdie. Yeah.
Ah, they posted that before, no? Or
Stupid?
maybe he posted it.
He posted it
mm,
today. Maybe this isn't. No, this is. I don't know.
I could have sworn I seen it before 8 hours ago.
yeah, I know what
But
you're talking about
regardless,
though.
Yeah, no, he does do really cool stuff, especially
Mhm.
when he plays with his footage and he slaps some more motion blur and shit on there and his own little color grade that he's got, because that footage really pops. I always get sad when Bystrack sucks and then I don't get any footage from Justin. I go into FD media folder and I'm like, all right, is he in there? And no, why would he be?
Oh, he posted the same clip again today from 4 days ago.
Okay.
And different captions, starting it sooner for drifting. So I think it algorithm popped, more action sooner type of thing.
Hell yeah.
Nice.
Huge angle said the drone shot through the trees in Riga was cool too. Yeah, see,
Yeah.
I have been kind of slacking. The only Drift Masters I've really seen is through Instagram.
Yeah.
I watch qualifying, which is pointless in a way, and then I don't watch the main event.
Well, that's kind of where you missed out. Because I mean, I'm trying to even remember now. Do they qualify in the dark? They don't. Qualify.
They do.
Do they?
Half
Okay.
of
It's like half and
Half
half.
of it.
it's like
Yeah.
half, yeah. It's like dusk to darker.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Along those lines.
Because the one thing I feel like that I don't know, you can check and let me know if this is true. Is Ferropolis the coolest outdoor drift event at night to like check out? I was like looking at some of the pictures. Like it's such a crazy looking facility, even at night, because then you get the crowd is like right on top of everything because they have those like straight walls, and then you just look straight down and the car's tapping the wall like 10 feet below them. It's got to be like such a unique. Actually, maybe I can just bring up some photos that I quick saw, because like it's just one of those facilities that you probably just couldn't replicate in real life. And what is going on here? There we go. Let me pull some of these up. But I don't know. What did you guys? I mean, you know, Brandon, you obviously watched the whole thing. That was like the one thing that really popped out to me, because obviously here might be another hot take, is like the driving's really good, partially because I don't think the track is very hard, in comparison to a lot of, you know, faster tracks that we see in like FD, for example. But we can get to that debate when we want to.
You think it needs to be fast for it to be hard?
No, but like they're all consistent radius turns. They're all relatively
Like
similar speed.
It's like just a good flowing course.
Yeah, it's a really nice. It's a very easy tandem track, kind of like a New Jersey, in FD or something.
I think the transitions are a big thing. Like,
right,
transition timing is huge there. I think entry is fast. Like, you're going 70 miles an hour into a concrete wall.
The entry is a little
just
interesting.
Like a 90-degree like this concrete wall. It's kind of crazy, you know.
Yeah.
No. Like you saw Jack, he messed it up a little and had to hook it back real quick.
I thought you talking about the one against Visick?
No, it was during qualifying. One of his runs, he sent it a little too. He chucked it in super hard and then tapped the wall a little bit and had to loop it back and boop his rear end against the wall.
Right.
I do find it difficult in its own way. Obviously, like comparatively.
I would say the visuals of trying to make a circle in a square is what is kind of weird to look at. At least the few times that I tested on Assetto, I was a little weirded out by like the fact that you're hitting 4 or 3 basically flat spots or flat walls all the way around instead of a curved wall.
Mm-hmm.
So visually that kind of is a little different, but I don't know. You guys can tell me how you feel about that. But in terms of the actual track itself, like you're not. I would assume you're staying in the same gear the whole time.
Probably third.
You could maybe go like, I don't know, but either like one gear or like ender and a higher gear, and then after first corner, down, and then do the rest of it. That sort of number.
Yeah, because I mean, you do want to have that extra wheel speed on the run up, so you can get the nice little flick, just to get it broken up and ready for initiation. But
yeah, honestly, like decel into first and second outer zone.
Right.
Go down a gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There is a decel there, that they're allowed to decel, and but that's the thing with the track is it from the outside perspective, at least it looks like a consistent, like you're doing consistent radiuses, which from a chase perspective I feel like helps a ton, and they're they're not small radiuses, so it's really easy to cheat line to catch back up if you need to. So obviously the battles that we did see were really close, really tight tandems. Like that's actually what, you know, we want to see. Like that's the cool part about Ferropolis, is not only is it just a cool setting, and I think it's one of the coolest like venues to actually go see an event at, because of all the lighting, where you're at, basically on top of the action kind of deal. But you also get to see some great driving, because the track is, in my opinion, relatively not the most difficult compared to a Riga, for example.
Yeah, I mean, they're definitely two different like animals in a sense. I would put this close to like an E-Town, like the Gambler course, where it's technical, but it plays for good tandems, even Orlando, where it's like, okay, you have two things to do: initiate and then just make it through the bank. And basically, like you're pretty squared away, and also kind of like handle the bump coming off of the bank. That's just a variable in itself every time. You never even know. The last guy could have dug up some asphalt. So, anyways, but I think that it's kind of almost in a sense comparing apples to oranges between the two tracks. I do see like I think that this
Jacob
one
is in the chat right now, Gettins, and he obviously he just said they're in third the entire time, and what was the other thing he said? Oh, they're talking about the Connor Falvey thing, which we will get to in a sec here.
Yeah, I saw something, or I saw people talking about that online. I
watched it, and I'm sure Brandon watched it, so we'll.
I'm gonna be honest. Which one was it? Falvey versus who?
It was Purser, I think, that hit his rear wheel at the end of the track, and I guess we can get into it now. Basically, it's at the very end of the run. The debate is, so they hit rear wheels at the end of the run.
Okay.
And Connor Falvey, it destroys his wheel, and he DBs, can't compete.
This is what I've been telling people to do for years now, dude. You just T-bone the guy in front of you hard enough, they can't come back. You still get to move.
Right. Well, it's like...
I tell Matt that for Utah.
I tell him all the time. He's too much of a chicken to do it. That's what I always think about in basketball. I'm like, if you punch out, if you have two dudes that are willing to foul out 4 times, you just punch enough dudes on the other team. Eventually, you're going to just win by 4.
You're terrible. You're terrible.
I'm
watching it back right now. I think I missed this one. I did miss a couple battles. This was one of them.
Yeah, and I mean... I think Connor obviously made some posts about it. He wasn't very happy with the call because they said that he tapped the wall and it moved the back end of the car, which hit Kevin Purser, and that's what caused the contact. He doesn't think he made much contact with the wall. I mean, there was contact with the wall, but you know the way that those cars are built, they can take pretty good contact without affecting the car too much. So the debate, you know, and that's kind of like the big thing.
Yeah. There is a new rule in Drift Masters where I think they implemented it this year, and I think last year as well. But when your car, like, they don't want you like inside the wall; they want you like scraping against it. You know?
Yeah.
Not like pushing your rear end through it.
Yeah, and so it's a tough one because when I looked at it, you could barely see some movement, I thought, but they do have that Wally system, and judges did say they did see some decel. So it's kind of hard to argue with the judges when they have the Wally system, you know.
Yeah.
And if they do see decel there, and then that's where contact is, like that's a pretty easy judgment call, in my opinion, even though maybe from the outside it's kind of hard to see.
Yeah, I'm looking at now. I guess the sheer thing they could call it on is decel. And I wonder, I don't know, like, I see why people aren't happy with this. It's like, you can barely tell he's decelling. Like,
yeah,
I could see a slight, like, more of a neutral / small decel at the end.
And just so you know, judges went 2-1 on the decision. 2-1 said it was his fault compared to Kevin's. And
Dan had said left side wheel damaged, not right, not because he hit the wall, because a chase driver contacted it across the line.
Correct.
That's such a terrible way to, like, oh man, that was rear end to rear end too.
Yep.
Oh jeez.
Yep. So that's why it's the weirdest thing, but like it's not a call we haven't seen before. A call specifically that comes out to mind was Dylan Hughes and Matt Field a couple years in Seattle. They had a bunch of those one more time battles, and what actually gave the win to Matt Field was Dylan tapped the wall and hit the front end of Matt Field in the chase and caused him to like spin, I think. Which obviously they gave the win to Matt Field.
Where
in that
was
case.
this contact? I'm watching it now. We can't play this on the stream, right?
No, we can't play any of the footage on the stream.
Okay,
unfortunately.
cool. Let me see.
We also have a guest that decided to come join us.
Oh,
Hello. Spawned in.
I know.
He's not talking anymore in the chat.
Was this contact? Was this over the line as
Yes,
well? Like
over
I'm
the
looking
line.
at. Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's
So
Yeah.
yeah, I see why people
But
aren't happy.
you
with
got to
that.
remember too. There's also a precedent that was set earlier the year earlier in the year in Ireland between Piotr and Connor Shanahan.
correct.
So like there's a few things to like look at in this scenario.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna say that like
it was
you
right
know,
or wrong, but like what you're
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
is this has happened before. I understand where the judges are coming from, and from my argument's sake, was the judges did say that they saw a slowdown, I think in the Wally system.
yeah,
And
which
it
I
just
may
kinda-
still have access to. I can go back and take a look. I don't know if I've got it right in front of me though. So,
Yeah, because like that's a hard thing to argue, you know, even though it's
Yeah.
even though you guys say it's like 99% like correct, you know, it's like it's hard to argue if you do see something in there and it visually kind of makes sense as well when you watch it.
Yeah, I'm catching up on the comments since I left, but yeah. So from my recollection of what happened, Falvey's going out, catches the wall just before the finish line, which they were told like you're not supposed to be making contact with the wall. The exact words you're supposed to be like kissing the wall, I think is what David Class.
Which in which Connor would say is that's what he did.
I
Right,
arguably
right.
say that's a kiss more than a touch.
Right,
to be
but
honest, like,
the
looking at it.
issue comes in, and I know people are saying like, oh, there's contact with the left, there wasn't contact with the wheel. That's correct. The contact was made with the rear bumper, and it's really tough to see because it's in the smoke, and you can kind of see that damage done to the car in the Drift Games video that came out today as well. I just finished watching that. So once again, this is all from my recollection. He caught the wall with the bumper as he was coming across the line, and then the car came off of the wall, and then that was when basically he was hit. So once again, I'm not saying one way or another what's correct or what's not correct. I mean, the whole thing could be solved if you just allowed for 5-minute timeouts, but that's a whole other conversation.
Right. Well, and you know, I understand obviously why they do things and whatnot, but it was I think it was more vocal because of who it was.
Yeah.
As well. And obviously saw some social media stuff on it afterwards, like they were going to try and protest and all that kind of stuff.
Well, they did try. They actually were in the booth at the halftime break, and yeah. And
what's
Kevin's
the protest process over there like? Is there a protest?
non-existent.
Okay, gotcha.
There is a stipulation that allows you to do it if it is something that's not a judgeable thing. Like if it's just a straight up rules violation, you can protest at that point. So
gotcha. Yeah, that makes sense. And you know,
basically it's FD now, right?
Yeah,
yeah, similar with FD. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I actually had some questions about qualifying though, and I don't know if you can give us some clarification on it. The whole debate with left foot braking, and I was trying to understand it because they didn't like it for a lot of the runs, but then like some of the top runs also had left foot braking, and like how do they make that distinction between starting to take points away while also it still looks good and smooth, you know?
Visual reduction of speed is the biggest thing, and amount of time that they were doing it for.
Okay.
So like the drivers that were just touching it to correct the car, that's one thing, but like holding on to it was the other thing. And it'll come off of style and angle.
Right.
So, and you got to remember line is 60 points
Yeah.
and then style and angle make up the rest. So like you can do a fair bit of it. You could lose a lot of style points, but still do half decent.
Gotcha. That makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. I just out of your opinion, Jacob, the light show that they put on there, is it one of the coolest outdoor events that you've been to?
Oh yeah, dude, it's sick. Like that's my third year being there, and that's probably the best it's ever looked too. So it was really good. There was a few things that like I didn't like, to be honest, because
Okay.
like I thought it got distracting.
Mm.
So one of the battles near the end, for some reason, the lights that were over the zones
Yeah.
were tied into the same light show system.
Mm.
So those zone lights were flashing white and red, and I actually like called production. I was like, hey, there's a run going on and the zone lights are flashing red. Like, what the fuck?
Right.
And then I don't know if this was a camera flash or laser flash, but if you watch the drivers coming between 3 and 4, there was usually a couple bright flashes that came off. I might have just been a photographer though.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because like it's so cool from the outside, but I was curious to see from like especially someone that was there, like how do they actually deal with it? I assume they took because I assumed they would stop a lot of the lights during the run and then add them at the end. But were they doing them the whole time?
Yeah, but it was like above where the drivers were.
Okay,
like those
gotcha.
lights were, let's say 30 feet above the track surface.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's such a. And here's my thing with FD, right? We have this relationship with Type S, right? Like, and they obviously they put the lights on the wall or whatever, but like, I just think it would be pretty cool if we literally work with a light sponsor in FD. Like, let's see some more lights flash, in some of our night events. That was
but someone's got to pay for it.
Right.
Smoke show thing last year, right? Where the lasers were hovering over the smoke in Atlanta. Was that?
I think that was to try and like indicate zones. Like they were testing out to see if they could find a new way to like delineate where a zone was.
Right.
I don't know if really anybody could see it, but every once in a blue moon I could see it on the camera. And
That's
it wasn't
right.
anything
Mm-hmm.
to really write home about, but
yeah,
I was like excited. I'm like, oh, we're going in a cool direction.
you have to remember there's like the business models between the two series are very, very different.
Yeah.
But like probably even more than I think most people realize that like FD is its own show. It's one company that is Formula Drift, right? Drift Masters is Drift Masters. Then you've got Drift Games, who's the promoting agency. So they're the ones that do all the marketing. They do the videos, social media, some of the ads work, stuff like that. Then you've got Red Bull Production, who does that. And then you have, I think it's O2 Production, which actually does the camera and streaming, which is subbed out by Red Bull. And then on top of that, then you have the local promoter.
Right.
So you have all of these different people doing different things. So like those lights and all that stuff, that's the local promoter setting up that, which goes through Iron Drift King.
Really?
So like,
okay, interesting.
Yeah, so the business model is like so immensely different. Whereas FD, it's all FD. Now they do sub out companies and stuff. Like the production company is a subbed out company for FD. It's not like their own thing. They do use agencies for marketing and stuff like that. So it's not that different. But when it comes to like revenue, that's FD. And maybe there's like some, revenue splits with tracks and stuff that I'm not aware of. But there are a lot more hands making a lot more teams, a lot more hands making a Drift Masters event happen as opposed to an FD event happen.
Right. I don't know if this is just how it felt, but I felt like the decisions took a little bit longer at this track. Is that just because there were a lot more closer battles than compared to like Riga?
It's 3 outside zones, so it's like it's super, super tight, and it just becomes a nitpicky thing. Right. I've posted, shameless plug, in any of my like behind the scenes videos of those events, I usually will show what the booth looks like for us. They have a full replay machine and a judge that only operates that replay machine. They don't do any judging. All they do is run that replay machine. It's also a backup judge in case somebody gets sick or anything like that, which has happened.
Shout out Chris. Chris.
So they can run through that stuff, and it becomes a little bit, that can slow things down from time to time. The other part too is we were waiting for smoke to clear. So like we were just generally delayed because of that. And then drivers use their 2 minutes after their run quite a lot to cool the cars off, to cool the tires off.
Yeah, because it was pretty warm there, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was pretty hot. I mean, competition night was like 25 Celsius, so that's 85, 90 Fahrenheit.
Mm-hmm. 90 Fahrenheit. Mm-hmm. Sheesh.
So
That's lights are, or the lights are on, I should say.
Yeah, because it was pretty warm there, wasn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was 25 Celsius.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Wow.
I mean, that's in Germany, like an 85-degree day is brutal, right?
Yeah,
Like
Mm-hmm.
there's no AC, like that just doesn't
Yeah.
exist. So
Yeah.
Wow.
No, it's a cool show because like you said, all of the driving is so close, and it really, like you said, I like it because you get to see what the judges really like and don't like.
mm,
And I thought one of the most interesting contrasts was watching the Jack Shanahan and Peter Vicek battle, because you saw two different ways about going through the track.
yeah,
And Jack with his lead run obviously was killing it, but then you have Peter doing things in a chase that I just don't know how a human can do. And it was really fun to kind of watch those two battle it out. I
yeah.
thought.
What was really interesting is that like they kind of switched roles in that
Mm-hmm.
battle, whereas like for some reason Jack gets under Peter's skin, and not like in a like he's being a dick or anything like that.
Right.
But there's something about Jack battling Peter that kind of screws with his head. And I
Mm-hmm.
don't know what it is, but like you can see it anytime they've gone head to head. It's just for some reason it's like his kryptonite.
Yeah.
So it's just wild to see. Whereas with Connor and Peter, it's not the same. It's specifically Jack. So but yeah, that was the only time during that entire event, like start to finish, even in practice, where Peter cracked it all. Like dude was fucking perfect from the time they pulled that car off the trailer.
Yeah, well, like,
Yeah.
I think there was some debate on the Laurie Heinonen battle with him. I know that was a pretty close one, but I think Laurie got pretty deep into one of the zones. Even though his car didn't move much, definitely looked like he got really deep into one of the zones, and I think that was the deciding factor. The remarkable thing for me in Peter is he's doing it in a Supra, you know?
Yeah.
Because you have to be, there is no room at the end of the cars, and it's the same also with the GT86s. But I don't know. Like the few times I think I saw him hit the wall once, and it massively affected the car. Like,
Yeah.
Um.
That I would go back and like watch some of the videos and like take a really hard look at like how that car's set up. I can't like 100% confirm this, but I don't think that car would ever be FD legal because of what's been changed on it.
I've been told it would absolutely not be FD legal from
like
reliable sources.
there's
there are
a
things
fair
that have been
bit.
modified on there that would not be legal here. It kind of explains why it transitions so differently than anything else that I've ever seen. Like it is one of the weirdest cars I've ever seen. Like transition, I'm like, I don't know if it like, because it kind of looks like sometimes it like crab walks into whatever transition he's doing. It's like
Can just rotate on like a needle.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah,
it's
like the pivot point's so narrow. It's
Yeah.
kind of
But-
kind of cool to see.
it's crazy, but also I'm sure he has to be so precise to drive that. Like, I'm sure there's no margin for error. I mean that's all Peter does anyways, is drive. And you think of a guy like a Max Verstappen, where the car is built so precise that only he can drive it, kind of thing. And so I kind of
Basically RTR guys.
yeah. So I kind of feel like
similar.
it's kind of that for him. Like, I don't think if you gave that car to anyone else that they would do half as good as he does in that thing.
No, I agree. I mean, even looking at how Larry did driving Dave's car, like and that Supra, like Larry did well, but like still struggled. And we're talking about, the
Last
defending
year's
champion.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, it shows they're not an easy chassis.
Yeah.
I think what we've seen drivers in FD do with them, it's obviously it's incredible. Like even Simon kind of getting that car finally figured out in Seattle. Like it's taken years now and a completely different team. Yeah. And some of that crew is Odie's ex crew. Like it's taken a lot of great minds to get that going. And obviously Papadakis and Steph, like
I can tell you they're on their fourth set of coilovers for that car.
Yeah.
Because they just keep changing and trying to figure it out. Like, just personally, working with that team, like there are so many minds trying to figure out how to make that chassis work under the FD rulebook. because the problem with the Supra is the front strut towers.
Well,
And
yeah,
and
and
that-
the suspension's angled like this,
Mhm.
whereas once again, like go watch Peter's car under
Mhm.
compression in the front, and there's no camber gain whatsoever.
Right.
Right, even in the rear, like there's a shot of him like going over the curb in Riga, and the wheel goes straight up into the fender,
Straight up.
and like, but not just like straight up, like all the way into the fender. Right. And that car sits at a pretty crazy rake already. I think a couple of people in the chat have already commented on that. And like, if you then go and look at how that suspension is built and how everything is set up, it shouldn't under current suspension pickup points, it shouldn't do that.
Right.
So,
but you know, he has so much research into that car and so much special stuff that, I mean, I'm sure there's all kinds of cool stuff going underneath of that thing. But you know, with
tribulations he had to get to this point.
Yeah,
he didn't just
took him 3
right
years
out of the box. That was a struggle. People were starting to think, is Peter washed up? I'm like, hell no.
How many championships did he win before he switched to the Supra? Was it 2?
Yeah, 2 or 3, all in an S15. I'd have to double check. I'm fairly certain it's 2. For some, it's tough because like Drift Masters has been so many different things. So it's like, where do you start counting?
Exactly.
Right. Because like even now, something that people get wrong all the time is they call it DMAC, and it's not. It's not.
Right.
It's not Drift Masters European Championship. It is just Drift Masters. They've removed the European Championship part.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yeah. If you look at like any of the verbiage now,
that makes sense. Yeah. Why is there? I guess is there reason as just like the ownership of the direction? Or...
I think it's just to like not to pigeonhole themselves, right?
Oh yeah, because I guess you got more than just Europeans driving now. You know,
yeah, that's because
the US.
Well, and it used to be a lot more of like if you were the best in Norway and you're the best in Croatia and you're the best of whatever, then you would come and compete. Like that was the original concept: is you won your national series and then 1 or 2 drivers from every national series would come over and compete, and then it was like supposed to be like that, but it's not that way anymore.
Right. Yeah. So. Interesting. So obviously you're commentating this event. This is your 3rd time, you said?
Yeah, this track. Because I did Iron Drift King for 2 years before this.
Like you said, visually, can you see the whole track, or are you using a lot of monitors here?
I'm in a bin. I can't see shit.
Okay.
Yeah. No, we commentate. We do commentary over what you see on the live stream for a couple of reasons. One, it was hot as balls out there, so I was pretty happy about being in a shipping container with an air conditioner, although it wasn't a great AC, but it was better than being outside. 2, that way we're not doing commentary to the live event. There's German commentators that are there. That's how it is with every Drift Masters event. They're not that there's German, but there's a local pair of commentators that speak whatever that language is. Ireland's the only exception.
Gotcha.
So just like if you're ever traveling from the US to a Drift Masters event, be prepared for that. They're like, you're not listening to Ian and I, you're listening to whoever is out there.
Guy,
yeah. And all of the ones that I've met have been actually very knowledgeable and very, very good. So it's not like you're just getting some Joe Schmo out there. Like I specifically remember the guys from Spain were incredible. They do really good crowd work, but the guys in Germany as well are really good. But yeah, we do that, and it's just, once again, it's just to make sure that there's continuity between what you see on screen and what we see. Because if I'm doing commentary over something and it hasn't shown up on the TV, you're like, what the hell's going on?
Interesting.
Which the opposite happened in Ireland when Connor, funny enough, broke his wheel. Yeah.
Okay. So what's the delay? From live, you think, to what we see?
2 or 3 minutes. Like it's not like you could pull up the live stream and then listen to it on headphones. I have suggested an AM feed, like AM radio, because most phones will still pick up AM radio. You can get apps and stuff for it.
Right.
So that would be sick. And that way, if you did go to Poland, you could at least listen to the English commentary when you're there.
That would be cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's not it's not just like, okay, we'll just do that type of thing. There is actual work involved.
Right. No, that's interesting. And so like, when we go to Poland and there's 55,000 people there, they're announcing in Poland or in Polish
Yeah,
there?
Polish. Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I mean, they're announcing in Poland. Yes, you are correct.
Sorry, I meant Polish.
Yes.
Wow, that's crazy. You got to be pretty hyped for that, don't you?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I don't know how hyped to be yet, to be honest. Like, I'm
Right.
stoked for it. It's kind of at the end of like a 6-week,
Grind.
6 weeks of work. So I'm kind of like,
Mhm.
I'll be excited also to kind of be done. Because
Right.
my season's pretty much over at that point. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's kind of nice. But yeah, I've made one request, which is at some point when everybody's in the stadium, I just want to go stand in the middle of the stadium, like just for one shot or like one
Mhm.
moment, like that, just whenever that is. So I might go down for like the top 16 ceremony, and
Yeah.
then just I have to, because apparently my booth is like literally like in the roof. So then I have to run and then get in an elevator and go up like 6 floors and then get into the booth in time. There's not a lot of time in between.
Yeah.
Get your cardio in.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
Actually, that kind of brings up one of the questions that was brought up. Would you have David Egan drive in Poland? The Supra?
I told him he
or-
should drive the Lowbrands car. Yeah.
Lowbrands
That's
car?
the S chassis. Yeah.
Mhm.
That's my opinion. I don't think he's going to listen to me. I think he's going to drive the Supra because he's riding that high right now.
Mhm.
That's my guess, but I mean, I don't know. I talked to him about it,
Yeah.
and I was just like,
So
Yeah.
we haven't seen a ton of runs on obviously the actual driving side, but you've seen him in practice. How has he been looking in the S13? Or
fine if it's
Yeah.
running. It's just like,
Yeah.
they built that car in 3 weeks. It kind of sucks. Like,
Right.
you do like, in principle, it's an incredible car, right?
Okay.
But it's
Yeah.
also an old chassis that's had the shit kicked out of it for years.
Mhm.
It's an engine that it was a complete mystery. And
Right.
like, once again, if you go back and watch that video, like clutch fails, power steering fails, everything was overheating. Like, they built a car in 3 weeks. It's exactly what you would expect building a car in 3 weeks. And like,
Right.
and this isn't anything against the guys from Drift Games, but like, let's be honest there. Like, it's
Right.
one mechanic and then a bunch of enthusiasts.
Right.
Like, it's not easy to do. It's not like it's LZ's team, Steph's team, RTR, whoever that are building a car in 3 weeks.
Yeah. I
Right,
mean,
that have
it,
built
it makes
Plenty
sense.
of
Like,
these chassis.
yeah.
I'm not trying to. It's just
yeah.
the reality of how
Yeah.
it is.
No, I thought it was kind of crazy that he made this switch, but I mean, I get why he's doing it. It's just,
Yeah.
On,
it's
Jacob
tough.
said on paper
Mm.
it should be just an easier chassis
Yeah.
Right.
if things just work. But I definitely when he first revealed it, I was like, damn, look at that haggard turd. Like, what?
Malik actually has a good question here. Do you think Pedor will do the qualifying showdown since points race is so close?
I don't think so. I don't think you'll risk it.
Yeah, because
think
it's
he-
1
because-
point, right? Or no, it's 4 points.
It's
technically.
it's up to 4.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't think you'll risk it, because if you think about it in Drift Masters, if you win top 32 into 16, that's worth 16 points, right?
Right.
And then your top ranks, I think it's like 4, 3, 2, and 1 is 12 points in between, is how it breaks down. I just put it all away. I'd like
I have the
this
points up
big
if you can
breakdown
see
sheet.
it.
Yeah, no, I did a full breakdown because we were mapping the points throughout the event as we went.
Yeah.
And I like realized, I'm like, oh, in FD it's 10 points per round, but there it's 16. So
Oh,
it's just a
wow.
little bit different. But I don't think he'll do it. I think what happened in Spain scared the shit out of him. And that more or less cost him the championship there if he does lose it.
Yeah.
Right? Because if he would have been able to drive in Spain, he qualified quite well. There's a good chance he
Yeah.
would have made at least top 8.
Top 8, yeah.
So we wouldn't even be having the conversation of Connor,
In the
in
championship.
this competition. Exactly.
Right.
So
That's crazy
It's
how
not-
that all works out.
yeah, but that's every season for every drift series, right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I guess it's like, if Dwayne McKeever had a working car for longer than a round, how many
For a
championships would he have?
Basically.
He'd be up there.
A bunch of
he'd
them,
be up
dude.
there.
2, 3. Dude,
Yeah.
I cannot tell you how good of a driver he is, because he had like 3 laps of practice before he went and did his qualifying run. Like, that's it. He did 2 and he's like, yeah, I think I've got it, and then did 1 more just to be sure.
Wow.
Yeah.
Seeing the videos of him in the black smoke I think that's what their team is called. But
Yeah.
just revving the piss out of that thing. And I'm
Oh man.
you know,
Well, I was on the other side of the tent, and I was chatting with somebody, and we just like hear the car fire up, and like I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Black Smoke's moving their car, and he's just, and then just I mean, a column of smoke coming in. I'm like, Jesus Christ, Timu, like what the fuck, dude? And I'm like, all right, we don't even think anything of it. And then we start seeing like flames come out. I'm like, okay, Timu's going a little bit far now. Like this is a bit much, dude. Like it's late. Like we get it. And then the next morning to wake up and find it was Dwayne doing it. I was like, God, I think I commented on the video too. I was like, I should have known it was you.
yeah, you just looked like a little kid in a candy store, honestly.
Oh,
just beating the hell out of
Those cars are silly, man. They're so silly, but it's great.
Yeah, he seems like a good man. I do feel terrible of all of the mechanical nuances. What actually happened to him this time? I didn't actually catch the commentator.
I don't know. They've gone through like 3 or 4 engines already this season, but like you got to remember they're like developing those engines as they go. Okay. Like they're making money by selling those. Like there are several Black Smoke engines out in the wild, and there's a shitload of parts.
Talking about Dwayne.
Oh, Dwayne's? Oh, sorry.
Because he shut down. I don't remember what, or if you actually stated, or if it was just left undetermined what actually happened.
I can't remember. Yeah, I can't remember.
It killed me to see that. It was just like, damn, dude. Like he looked shot, like just mentally torn from. Like, I don't want to do this anymore.
You need the pickup of revving the piss out of the Mercedes. You know?
Yeah, definitely. He needed that. He definitely needed that. Yeah,
need it for the soul.
Yeah, so
I don't know. I don't know if he posted about it or something, but
I don't think that he did. I kept like trying to look. I haven't checked in a day, so
yeah, he's usually pretty open about that stuff, like just explaining what's going on. But
yeah, I'm a big fan of that man.
Yeah. I just wish I could understand what he says.
You're learning.
Yeah, that'd be helpful.
Yeah, it doesn't help that he's got like a really thick Northern Irish accent and a lisp on top of that. Yeah. So like it just makes it that much more difficult.
He's definitely got some difficult lingo going on.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I know.
This would be fun. So obviously the first round was canceled. Who would you have thought would have that track benefited?
It's tough to say. I don't think it would have been James because they're still figuring out the teething issues on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough go.
I think it'd be like not a random, but like someone who's not always at the top, like a Pasor or something.
Kind of like a Spain.
Because it kind of feels like Spain, that track. Yeah.
Yeah, like Oliver Randalou, Itaseta, like stuff like that. Like I do think so. It would have been somebody like that, or Mika Keskakorpi or something like that. Like a driver that's like obviously quite good, but just not a usual top 5 driver.
Right. Well, it's just crazy that top 3 and the highest placed person now is 9th out of those 3 drivers that got 1st, 2nd, and 3rd in the first round.
Yeah.
Is just crazy. Like
it's just a wild event. It was just, I mean, that layout in Spain was really strange. But for a couple of drivers, it just suited really well. Like the dig out after outside zone 2, I think it was just weird. But if you could nail it, you could just gap people, and that was it.
Wow. Yeah.
So,
Malik asks, who's the fastest around the track at Drift Masters?
It depends. It depends on the event.
Mm-hmm.
It depends on a couple of factors. Dwayne's consistently up there. Laurie's consistently up there. Piotr's actually not. Like he's usually like, he's probably a couple miles an hour behind the leaders. Like he's say like top 7, top 8, but it's not like a top 3.
Yeah.
It's usually one of those drivers. And then every once in a while it's going to be somebody who's like a little bit stranger, but it's usually because they've like missed some zones or something like that. Yeah. Nassar is ridiculously fast, like consistently fast. And like that car is built for 1400 horsepower, and they've got it detuned to like 800. Like that is a ridiculous S chassis. Right. It really just depends on who it suits and what the track layout is. But It's not usually the higher, like the top 5 guys.
Interesting.
They usually will pull some grip out of the car to make them easier to drive.
Because I remember the Shanahans were saying how fast Peter was at Germany, at least. Or at least people were saying how fast Peter was in Germany.
Yeah, he was. And it's more like average speed as opposed to like a top speed. Like on average, he's just really good. But it's being that fast and filling the zone at the same time. That's the biggest thing. So it's just, it's one of those, like, it all depends on how you measure it. Yeah. I'd have to go back and check like the Wally data for average speed and stuff like that. But yeah, it's usually the top guys are not always the fastest. They're just the most consistently fast throughout an entire run. But they'll, like I said, they'll pull a little bit of grip out of the car to make sure that it drives the way it does. And that's, like, you know, always my biggest frustration when I see guys with overgrip cars. Oh, I'm going to be super fast. I'm like, yeah, but you can't fucking drive it. So, like, that's great. I'm super happy you're really fast. Like, that's phenomenal. But, like, you're missing every zone, so it really doesn't matter.
That's like if you, like, look at FD and analytics, it's like if the spotter's like, yo, Federico is actually looking fast out there. It's like, yeah, well, he cut.
Yeah.
Percent of the
you know, he missed every zone.
He just straight lined it to the next one.
But I do feel like drivers are getting better about it, though.
They are.
Yeah, 100%. It's funny. I just before I jumped on this, I was working on my Seattle video, and like I was trying to find like definitive moments of Seattle. And one of them that came up was like Odie's run in 2016 and how fast the car was. Right. And like if you kind of go back and like rewatch parts of that event, I just started pulling footage. It's like that was kind of the beginning of like this weird grip war. And it was also like when things started breaking, and it was before James had come in, and like everybody, it was like post Digo, and everybody kind of figured it out. And like, it was just this really interesting time that we don't talk about, is like this 2015 to 2016, you know, those years. And then James came in and like, you had to be fast, but then it became this proximity game.
Yeah. The VK56 from Forsberg, that action.
Yeah. Yeah. And like the Hankook tires were going on. A lot of drivers were on Achilles. And then like, I think Maxis was still involved. Like, it was just a really interesting time, but it was like, if you went and watched it, like there wasn't a ton of angle, but like, God, everybody was fast.
Yeah. It is interesting just to see how the sport has evolved, even from, but like you watch battles back then, they were terrible.
Oh yeah. Like you go back 10 years, like it really wasn't that great. Yeah, nostalgia is a hell of a drug, man. Everything was better back then until you go back and look at it. Like, you know, it's yeah.
I'm curious. I always think about that and like what my thoughts are going to be looking back 10 years from now. When like, you know, we go to like Orlando or E-Town and like, you know, the tandems are close, they're tight, it's easier. And I'm curious, like, where is this going in the next 5-10 years? Like, am I really gonna look back and be like, damn, yo, we sucked?
Yeah, I mean, you right now we are living through someone's golden age, right?
Yep.
Like every day you're living through someone else's future best time of their life, or the best drifting ever, or whatever, right? Like, you know, I'm in my 30s. Nate, you're in your 30s now, right?
Yep.
Okay, I'm not sure, but Brandon looks like he's 16, so I don't think that's the case.
Right.
And Herbie's timeless.
Don't got my driver's license. Nope, none of that. It's Herbie's favorite joke.
You said I'm timeless.
I said Herbie's timeless. Yeah. No, I think nostalgia is a hell of a drug. It's just something you get stuck in. Like I'll constantly go back and listen to the same fucking music. My wife rewatches the same old movies. Yep. You know, everybody of my era is talking about option DVDs and all that, Initial D and all that stuff. Like, go back and really watch those. Like, don't get me wrong. Obviously, they set a precedent. It was really cool. But, like, is it still that cool? Or is it just because that time of your life was very carefree and you correlate anything that was a part of it? Like, yeah, high school during the time sucked. But looking back on it, I was like, dude, I was working at a bar, you know, in the kitchen making $8 an hour, but I had pocket money all the time and I could do whatever the hell I wanted. Like, yeah, that was a great time in comparison to right now where I'm only home for 150 days a year and I feel like I'm broke all the time.
Yeah.
So anyways, sidebar. But yeah, I do think we will look back at some point and at this time, and we'll find something that we're like, why did we do that? That was so stupid. Right. And I don't know what that thing is yet. It might be human judging. It might be the tires we're using. It might be that we're still burning tires and we're not on some low friction hemp based tire or something like that. I don't know. Maybe.
Oh man.
Yeah, like one of them airless basketball type things going on.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I don't know. Like it would be an interesting theory to try to make a series where you have to do a whole top 16 on one set of tires kind of thing, which they've done for
there
like
are
grassroots.
events that do that.
Yeah, there are. But like a high end series like that, and then trying to find tires like a high end
we just
treadwear that
you couldn't do it where we do it though. Like you
Right.
just couldn't. The cars wouldn't make it around. Like it would have to be these like go-kart tracks or like parking lots with like crazy course layouts. Like, do you remember like one of the first years in Poland? It was like when Connor beat James.
Okay.
And the amount of transitions that were on that track.
Vaguely, yeah.
It was, and then they actually like looped back on themselves and went back down the track, and there was like 15 zones.
It was like an insane battle. I do remember that now.
Yeah, but like you could do that. You could run that type of event on a system like you're talking about, and it would still be sick. There wouldn't be a ton of smoke. It wouldn't be super loud. But if and when, knock on wood, the EPA ever discovers drifting, that might be what we have to do.
Yeah.
Right?
I mean,
like
they're never.
Or like wetting the track down, kind of like what they did in Poland last year.
Yeah, exactly. Or I mean, I think the first step will be what goes on with extreme tires with recaps. I really do think that we need to shift to that in general. I think we're burning so many virgin tires that at some point we just have to kind of look at this and be like, this is kind of irresponsible. At a complete base level, we could just switch to recaps, and that becomes the new tire rule.
And
the companies need
recaps are real quick.
Basically, they shave off whatever tread is left off a tire and glue a new tread section onto it.
Like what they do
like,
for wheelers
for transport tires. Yeah.
Yep.
But like extreme tires in Europe, those like what the Shanahans are on, those are recap tires. Like those are recycled tires.
Really?
That's really cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
So,
and they're
like,
competitive, so clearly.
Yeah. Jack talked about it. They were running like a new compound and had a couple of like DLAM issues, but like I went and looked at the tires. It's not like an inch of tread is coming off. It's like they're down to the very end and the glue is finally starting to come off the base layer, but there's like, a 1/16 of an inch of tread depth left. Like there's nothing left anyways. Yeah. But I truly think that is something we have to look at in the next couple of years. I think switching everything over to ethanol, even though we're pretty much already there, would be the next thing after that. I mean, the whole EPA emissions thing is starting to go away, it seems, especially if you keep an eye on the diesel industry right now. There's like this weird thing going on where like, deletes and stuff like that are not legal, but like getting that way. And then maybe after that, it becomes like a tire allocation like F1, where like, this is the amount of tires you have for a weekend. Like, here you go. You've got 20 sets. Do with it what you will. Gamble it however you want.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
I think that would also alleviate how in FD at least, I don't know if I imagine it's similar in Drift Masters, but you get 12 practice runs.
Yeah, you do an FD. I don't think there's I don't believe there's a practice limit in Drift Masters though.
There is none? Okay.
No, but I don't remember the practice sessions being abundant either.
There was this one. There
Was
was
it?
3 days of it was
wow.
actually kind of stupid.
Wow.
It was kind of dumb because like all of Thursday was practice. I think there was 3 or 4 sessions per, because they also break up practice into A, B, and C groups. So I think each group got 2 or 3 sessions on Thursday, and then each group got 2 sessions on Friday before qualifying.
Yeah.
And then there was another session before top 32. Like it was a lot.
Right.
Yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah. But like I
Like
just
enough where I'm
remember
like, why am I here?
Right. I remember Mondello, when I went, there wasn't a ton of practice. Like I think it was like maybe 10 laps before, at most, before I think qualifying. Yeah. And then there was like one more session, obviously, into 32. But like, it wasn't like crazy amounts of practice but like I said, it was. I don't know if it was like a time. I think it was a time or sound ordinance thing to where we couldn't go super late Mondello.
Yeah,
could.
and also lights and stuff too.
Yeah,
I can't.
so-
I don't think Mondello's got lights. Could be wrong.
Right.
I didn't pay
Yeah.
enough attention.
But yeah, so it
um,
wasn't like crazy practice there. But
No.
I just don't know if the other ones are like that. But like, it's hard. It's an interesting thing to do it split up groups. I don't know if I like it because some groups are gonna run way faster than another group. Like for example, Mondello, I think there were way fewer drivers in the first group than there were in the second group, and so the guys in the first group got way more laps than the guys in the second group.
The idea is to it's a lot of it's due to the wild cards because like
Right, because
The
they're
wild cards are-
fluctuating.
yeah, and their fluctuating ability. So it's kind of like we're gonna just give them their own little practice time,
Okay.
and that way, it is what it is.
Yeah.
It also means there's like scheduled breaks and stuff like that between for staff. There,
Okay, so I get
I
why
don't know,
you
I'm
would
not-
have to do it that way then, because of the
yeah,
wild
and I
cards.
mean there was like 50 cars in Germany.
Yeah, I saw
No.
I saw your guys' list. I was like, holy smokes, how do you guys keep track of all
Yeah.
this?
It's,
think
I mean,
wild.
I can show you. Actually, I don't know if I actually just put them all away because I keep all my paperwork from every event. Like I have every note that I've taken all written down. I have a plan to at the end of the year take all my Drift Masters ones and all my FD ones and scan them and make like a poster. And then that way, if like somebody wants to buy drift notes, they can. Like
There you go.
you
That'd be
know,
fun.
if you want, if that's a cool thing that somebody would want, then like
Yeah,
awesome.
yeah.
I'll probably only run like 25 of them and sign them or something like that. But I think that would be kind of cool to have because like I just
Very
went and
niche
bought.
thing, but cool.
I just went and bought F1 notes of like a race in Silverstone because there's a company that makes them where just depending on the commentator, but like the way that they draw things out and they put all their notes on like this big piece of paper so you can get it into a poster and buy it. But you can do it with golf, you can do it with a bunch of stuff where like commentators sell their like copies of their notes. I had to talk about like an incredibly niche thing, but I mean
Yeah.
it's the kind of
You
shit
can
that I'm
listen
into.
to that,
Niche
That's
thing.
cool.
Yeah.
Hey, that's
So-
really neat. What?
Yeah, but I've every bracket from every event I've ever done in a filing cabinet, like right there.
Yeah. So, what's your process to learning 15 new people in a day? Well, it seemed like you got an extra day at this event, but
Yeah, I know ahead of time. Like I usually get the wild card list pretty early. Like I have most of Poland's already.
right.
So it gives me a bit more time, and then I'll just put together the notes based on the research that I can do on what they've got on their profiles, and then I'll try and find the time to go up and like say hi and take a look and like look at the car, chat with a staff member, and put some notes in. So I the app that I've built that helps a lot with that, which is just essentially a database.
Yeah.
And I can run that off my phone. So I just put the driver's names in, and then I can select a driver and then type in the notes section anything that I want to add in. And then when I go to announce, it comes up on my tablet, and then all of that's sitting there. So if I need to reference stuff, it's right there. And like, to be perfectly honest, like I'll put in 8 to 10, maybe 12 hours of research, and I might use 1 or 2 things from each driver. So it's just more like you've got it in case something happens, right?
Yeah.
We're like, oh, like this person was the champion in Lithuania in 2023. And then you look up another driver and like, oh, and they were the Lithuanian championship in 2024. And you're like, okay, cool. Well, if they battle each other, there's something I can say, right? And then I'll never use that note because they never battled each other. And it's just like, but you know, it's if you do have it and it does come up, you look like the fucking smartest guy in the world. But 99% of the time, the notes that I take go absolutely nowhere. But it just ends up getting logged in my head, and then I'm like, some other time something else comes up. I'm like, shit, I do know that because I wrote it down, and then I can recall that, and it comes up in some other weird place.
Yeah.
Oh,
Like,
100%.
from the outside perspective, you definitely obviously like we think about how much work you do have to put into being a technical announcer and knowing the ins and outs of each one of these drivers, let alone just getting the pronunciation of their names right.
Dude, the pronunciation I still get flamed for every event.
It's okay. You're doing
You never win.
9
No,
better than I could ever do. So.
Yeah.
I thought I had Yuha. I'll say it the way that's apparently incorrect, and then I'll tell you the correction. I thought I had Juha Puitalakso's name down. I was like, sick, awesome. I even chatted with him. He didn't say shit. All right, cool. We're locked in. And then I met the official Finnish drift fans. They gave me a sticker. These are the craziest human beings you've ever met. And they come up to me like, can we teach you Juha's name? I'm like, I've got it. They're like, no, you're close. But I'm like, okay, what is it? They're like, it's Puitalakso. And I'm like poop. And he's like, yes. And I'm like, so it's Juha Puitalakso. And he's like, no, poo. And like, I bet you we spent 5 minutes just trying to get the poo part of his name correct. And then I went into broadcast and I still got it wrong. He messaged me, he's like, oh, we worked so hard. And I'm like, okay, I'm sorry, dude. Like, hard enough to jump between.
I can't run the poo out long enough.
Dude. And it's like, the hard part is jumping from like a Finnish, Norwegian, Croatian, Latvian, Polish, like the different accents are all very different. Right. And like, you're trying to do it respectfully, but also not sound like a total douchebag. And it's just, that's the juggling of those is tough. Like people message me about the way that Ian says Piotr Vincek, where like he says Peter Vicek, and like it's kind of it's the English approximation of what it is.
Right.
And I get messaged like, can you correct them? I'm like, I'm not going to correct them. It's not my job to correct him. That's how he wants to say it. I could not care less.
Right.
Like I'm going to say it the way that I think is the most correct for me. But I'm not going to correct my co-announcer if that's how he wants to do it. Because if you go up to him and you say Peter, he will answer you. And if you go up and you say Piotr, he'll answer you. So I'm like, what do you do?
Right. Exactly.
Yep.
I just call him Peter and it's fine. Okay.
Yeah. But and saying Piotr is not, if you're a native English speaker, to try and get those consonants together it's not easy. It doesn't work with the way that our mouths work. So you have to rethink the way you speak.
Don't listen to whatever Nate has to tell you about names, because he's still figuring out how to name the ones that we have in FD that have been there for years. I was just giggling. I didn't even realize. I was just giggling at the Seattle stuff, and I'm like looking at Osbo, and it's just one A. I'm like, oh, we got Osbo.
I'm just lazy.
Okay.
Yeah, he was pronouncing Federico. He said Freddie for the longest time instead of Fetty.
Freddie Chevy. All right. I do have to bail.
Sounds good, man.
But before I go, are any of you guys doing Legends of Drift this weekend?
I'm unfortunately not making it out, but it looks like a good time.
I will let you know.
Send the pic of